Hey, good morning folks. This is Sam here in the Reloved Guitars workshop and just introducing you to the Oakcaster 2, which is the second of my line of solid oak beasties. And this one had an interesting checkered life in development because I had a couple of major screw-ups that I made on it, which, being human, reserve the right to make. But I'm very pleased to say, I'm very surprised and pleased to say that it's actually turned out fantastically well. The two main things were, one was incorrect positioning of the bridge to start off with, which was fixed by hand crafting some oak plugs to put into the holes and then re-drilling them. So it's really solid, but you can still see the outlines of where the original holes were. And the other one was having fitted a kind of complex high-tech brass nut about a year ago when I first did this neck, and then just left it waiting for a body. So that brass nut just wasn't any good. I mean, first of all, I fitted it back to front, but even worked it out, even when I took it out and looked at repositioning it, it wouldn't have worked. So I've taken that out and filled the rosewood and then recut the hole and put a bone nut instead. And despite the fact that when you try and fix things once they've gone wrong, it rarely works out the way you want, this thing has turned out absolutely perfect to play. And I played it for an hour or so last night, and actually I couldn't quite believe how good it was. And it, yeah, it's just lovely. It's got the lowest possible action. I don't dare not even measure it. It's so low. But it's about 12-13 millimeter, 1.2, 1.3 mils at the top end, which is just delicious. And it's intonated perfectly. Downside, or the only slight thing I've got to do to it really, is I'm going to just sandpaper out the nut slots here just slightly, just to increase the width a tiny bit. These are 10 strings and I did them with a 10 nut file set, and my experience is that even when you do a set of strings or a set of slots with the correct gauge files, it's not enough, and so you'll hear these pinging slightly, which isn't great for tuning. So I'm going to just enlarge those with sandpaper very gently and then put some graphite back in. It has a lovely intonation. So it's working on a single hot Wilkinson humbucker, one volume control down there, quite easy reach of the bridge as well. Tone on the bottom, and it's yeah, it's a nice, has a really nice tone. You can roll it off, and it's quite a soft sound. Crank it up, and it does the big sort of rectifier type tones brilliantly well. That wasn't feedback, by the way, that was me hitting the strings. So seems to like the tens. course it'll do everything in between. To get this the full audio of that. It's kind of hard to do without fed this through properly or anything. So I'm just going to balance this pointing towards the mics. You should get a good. What's interesting about this guitar is the way it tunes. So the G string is this one here, and it goes back to front the way you'd expect. So if you're tuning, you hear it pinging, that needs the widening. Take the gain down, keep it as clean as possible. My old Genesis memories coming out there. It's actually quite interesting that this hot humbucker, even on a clean sound, you do need to use the volume control. If you want it clean, you've got to give yourself lots of volume sort of headroom on the guitar, sorry, on the amp, and then use your volume control. You bring that up to full volume, it starts to just dirty up a little bit, which is good. But then again, you can take all the gain off it that you can possibly get. Just concentrate on volume, master volume. Ah, chocolate eating Morris, come in. No, I haven't got any Galaxy or Dairy Milk here for you. I've got a bowl of warm water because I'm about to do some fretting. How are you doing, my boy? You survived your chocolate attack last night? I caught him eating Galaxy. Somebody left a block of Galaxy on the side and he came and took a whole piece. And he just sat there and munched it. I've never heard of a cat eating Galaxy before, or chocolate of any kind. Yeah, so I hope we haven't started a new unhealthy trend with Mr. Morris. Anyway. What do you think of the old Oakcaster Morris? To your satisfaction? Sniff it? Yeah? Okay. Right, so there we have it. A great little treble guitar. I really do like it. If I can even so much as get the next one anywhere near as good as this, which I'm hoping of course it will be, it's fantastic. And this is balanced better even than the first one. So somehow I've got that right. So if I can keep the dimensions roughly and the size of the cavity. By the way, there's the missing bit, which is the hardwood to go in the back of there. I can't figure out where to buy it, so I'm going to have to do myself some looking around. Ooh, that nose is wet. The action is really, really low, but everything plays, which is great. I was in the kitchen yesterday, and his sister just jumped off the work surface and leapt onto my back, like he did the other day in here. I don't know if it's some sort of genetic mountain jumping cat or something, but he's such a character. Well, they both are. The problem is their mother hates them. I don't know what caused that. She really hates them. It's like they should have left home, and the longer they haven't left home, the more unnatural the situation is. So I kind of don't blame her, but there's nothing we can do. We've got 4 of them. We just have to let them work out their territories, and they each have their own sort of special place. Don't you, Morris? I had to hide these knobs from the Marlin Sidewinder from him, because I was in the kitchen this morning and I heard this clink and this rolling noise, and he'd flipped one of these off the side and it was heading for underneath the settee. So that's where the important parts go. Anyway, that was just a quick walkthrough. So in case you're interested, a quick look. We have the Oakcaster 2. It's finished in true oil. I might dull this off a bit. I'm not keen on the shininess, so I might just sand it a little bit with a 2000 grit. But we have the Oakcaster 2, built from 2 pieces of oak glued together down the centre line. Where the hell is it? Oh, it's just off the centre actually. It's the joiners there. You can see it on the back end, but you can't really see it up here. Got 1 cutaway, volume tone, single hot humbucker, a 1-piece bridge with compensated intonation. This one was chisel cut, so it's you know, it looks rough and in agricultural. The neck is a PV neck that I bought specially about 1.5 years ago, whenever it was that I was in the mood to do this. We've got Wilkinson easy lock tuners with the twin holes in the post. There's a little Fender, Japanese Fender string tree. It's not kind of in gold like the rest of it, but that's just there to hold these 2 down. Probably not even necessary now. I'm using an ordinary nut, but it was there when I was using the brass nut. We've got a repair in the end of here, which you can only see when you look up close, but it has no impact on the playing of the thing. And then we've got the 2, let's see if you can see the 2 drill and fills there, which again, solid. I spent some time making a square piece of oak into a round dowel, and what a satisfying thing that is, because the dowel I've got is hardwood, but it's not. It's completely different material from oak, so I used oak. We've got a little tiny fill there, which is blended in nicely. That was when, for some reason, I cut the original shape here into a right angle. I have no idea why, so I filled it because it looks silly. And then we've got this PV neck, which has got, I think, 3/4 of its fret life in. I fret leveled it, of course, and reprofiled and polished the frets, and actually this sits now at default at a beautiful low action, and it is just perfect with 10s on. So just a great little guitar with a sort of quick Oakcaster logo, and that's got some vintage lacquer on the neck, just so that it kind of has fits a bit more with the true oiled oak down here, but it may be not to everyone's taste, but hey. Because on the back side it's maple, so I just thought I'd give it a bit of a tan on the front. But anyway, this is a superb, rock solid lump of guitar. It's got the gold plate on the back and 4 very chunky bolts. I've got yet to tighten those fully. And then I'm going to put a hardwood of some kind, probably a dark wood, mahogany, thin mahogany back plate on here when I can get around to finding the material. But again, that's chiseled, and inside of here it's shielded. All the cavities are shielded as well, just for extra noiselessness. So yeah, great fun little guitar to play. The first one was great fun to play. This one is even better because it's got the drive of the hot humbucker, whereas the other one was a P90, so it's a bit of a cleaner sounding guitar. Anyway, the Oakcaster 2, it's there's more in the pipeline. I'm just trying different things. The next one is just not practice, it's a development. I'm going to route this out, and then there's another one, kind of big solid block under there waiting to go, and who knows what that one's going to become. But I really enjoyed them. They're such fun to play, and they're great fun to take around travelling as well, because they're so solid you can't damage them. Almost unbreakable, in fact. So okay, so hope that was interesting, and I'll just get off now because I've got to nip down the garage and get Morris some more chocolate. Isn't that right, fat boy? Yeah?